today's training, I'm going to walk you through the steps to reverse wholesaling. As I promised you, I'm going to show you how this whole thing kind of comes together in a really straightforward way. I want you to be prepared to take notes, so get a pen and paper out. We're going to go through 5 steps here, right? Step by step by step, and then we'll break this up in the video and make it real obvious to you what the steps are. The one thing I want to lead with on all of this is that what makes this entire thing work is confidence. I don't care whether you've been in the business for 5 minutes or 55 years. Confidence as it relates to this is extremely important. What reverse wholesaling, the entire concept is that we are starting with the end in mind. We are going out and cultivating and nurturing relationships with the most active cash buyers in the market, people that have money, people that want to find properties but don't have the time. Most cash buyers are doctors and lawyers and dentists and CPAs and people that have full-time jobs. They've got money and they want to buy investment properties, but they don't have the luxury of time. And so for somebody to actually bring them properties that make sense for them, that they can just make an easy decision, is great. That is a massive value to them. But what they don't want is somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're doing, or doesn't believe in themselves, or certainly isn't confident enough and projects that out there. So where does confidence come from? Well, confidence comes from information, and information comes from results, and results come from action. So as you take action and as you get into this, you will get more comfortable. As you have more of these conversations and do more, all of this will start to kind of come together. But when you're never going to get out there and be able to do this without actually doing it. You're gonna have to get on the phone. You're gonna have to talk to people. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to sit in front of sellers. All that's gonna have to take place. We are all looking for our tribe. Right? Everybody is looking for a place to belong. We're looking for those relationships and those associations, these places where we easily fit together and where it makes sense for us. And so if you're brand new to this, I want to walk you through something very quickly that I think is really important. You need to clearly understand what your core values are. You need to clearly understand why you're doing this. You need to dig deep. Like there's a program out there where it basically tells you keep asking why something matters to you until you get to probably the 6th or 7th level, and then you'll finally understand why you are doing this. Why are you taking these steps? Why do you want to get out there and become an entrepreneur? Whether it's in real estate or something else, but why do you want to do that? Why is it not good enough to sit in a cubicle and work for somebody else and make their asses rich while you're sitting, while you're sitting back and basically putting your dreams on hold? Why does this matter? Keep asking that question. Get deep. Get really deep, because that mental fortitude, that answer right there is what people will gravitate to. It's something that you communicate to the market. Integrity matters to me. Doing the right thing matters to me. Taking care of people, being transparent, being authentic, being real, those are those intangible things that a lot of people talk about, but people rarely actually do. I want you to listen to me very closely, and I want you to write this down. In the business world today, it is an ocean of mediocrity. It is a race to zero. Every corporate client out there, not every, but you don't have to look very hard to see it, whether it's in airlines, hotels, any service-based industry. How hard can we screw and hammer the customer and extract as much money as we can, put as little value into them and get as much out of them, right? That's the world today. Somebody's always getting screwed over. Well, Equifax just lost 250 million Americans complete credit profiles, right? With one stupid security thing that is literally their entire business is to do this one thing, but we just didn't feel like doing it, right? Wells Fargo, Spirit Airlines. It's everywhere. It's pervasive. Now, why do I say that? Because that mediocrity permeates throughout everything. And so it is not that hard to be amazing in an ocean of mediocrity. If you have integrity and you just do the right thing and you thank your customers and you take care of them, you're a rock star. You're amazing, because everybody else is shit. It's that simple. And so I don't want you to think that oh my God, I got to go out and create all this and I got to get my business cards and my LLCs and no, you just have to take care of people. Bring value to them. And that should breed confidence in the value you're bringing into this particular business. It's that simple. Don't make it harder than it has to be, and the rest will kind of take care of itself. So let's talk about step 1 here. In order to understand what to do, you have to first kind of understand what wholesaling is. Now, wholesaling is very straightforward. Wholesaling real estate is very simply the idea that you can go in and put a property under contract and turn around, and once you have a property under contract at a discount, the contract itself becomes an asset. Think about that. Think of it like a lottery ticket. Until you cash the lottery ticket in at the state office, the ticket itself is the asset. I got a $100 million lottery ticket. I don't have $100 million, but I got a ticket that says I can get $100 million. This sucker right here is the asset. The same thing in real estate. I don't own the house, the $100,000 house that I just put under contract for $70,000, but I got a contract, the lottery ticket that says I can. This is the asset. So once I have that asset, I have the right to effectively flip my interest in that contract to somebody else, where another buyer gets to step in and say, well, I'll take your contract for $70,000. And in fact, Kent, for your $70,000 contract, I'll give you $5,000. So what do? That buyer shows up to the table when it comes time to actually close on the transaction, and they show up with $75,000. 5 goes to Kent, 70,000 goes to the seller, everybody's happy. What did it cost me? Nothing. Did I actually close on a deal? No. Did I have to bring 70 grand? Absolutely not. What did I have to do? I had to go get a deal under contract. That's wholesaling. I'm flipping the contracts. So what is reverse wholesaling? What I'm going to teach you today? Well, reverse wholesaling is very straightforward in that we are starting with the end in mind. We are going to the end, the buyers, and we are saying, hey, if I could sell you anything at any price, in any quantity, in any neighborhood, what do you want to buy? And bringing it to them. Instead of going and putting something under contract and hoping that I got it at the right price in the right neighborhood and somebody's going to buy it from me, instead, I'm going out and actually talking to the cash buyers. Cash buyers make up 35% of the market right now. Most people don't even know this. 35% of the real estate transactions happening in your market today, somebody is paying cash for. These are cash investors that literally all they care about is just give me the property. But nobody knows they're out there, and nobody's talking to them, and nobody's helping them. In fact, what most of them are doing is what most of you do. If you want to buy a house, I got a friend, an aunt, an uncle, a husband, a wife, they've got a real estate license, and they don't really use it, but we're going to go look in the MLS. They're doing the same shit you're doing. All we're saying is, let me engage you like a professional. Let me find out exactly what you want to buy, the price you want to pay, everything you want about that, and let me turn around and go get it for you. Let me create that opportunity. That's reverse wholesaling. So what's step number 1? It's actually finding those buyers. So how do you do that? Well, I'm going to give you one way because it's the best way. I've done it, as the saying goes, you do it wrong enough, long enough, you'll figure it out. Well, for a long time, I was doing it wrong, meaning I was doing it manually. I was going down to the courthouse. I was looking for properties at the county courthouse in the records where somebody bought the house and a mortgage was not recorded at the same time. So if I buy a house and they don't record a mortgage, how'd they pay? Cash, baby. And that's a very manual, arduous, very, very tedious process, but effective. And then we came up with a way to automate that, right? And not only automate it in our county, our area, but automate it throughout the entire country. I'm going to show you real quick how to do the cash buyer search right inside of Smart. So now you're seeing my screen. When I go, all I'm doing is I go right up here at the top and say, go find me all the cash buyers. And then it will open up the module just like this. And I'm just going to do Tennessee real quick. And I'm going to do Shelby County, Tennessee, which is Memphis. And as it's getting the results here, I'm simply going to slide this to show me everybody that has bought anywhere from 1 to 500 properties. That'll open it up a lot more for me. And I'll get the results I'm looking for. So here you go. So this is the last 6 months. The results I'm looking for, 1,916 buyers in Shelby County, Tennessee for cash. Now I can go right in here very quickly, and which I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second, how to start figuring out which ones I want to market to. But clearly, if I just want to get some information, I can go and click on the actual zip codes that I want to focus on here. Or, and you can see it's changing, this is 300 buyers out of 1916, or I can just select all. But I've got 300 selected, so let's just proceed very quickly. Now it brings me to the results here. I'm just going to go change it to view it as grid. And here they are. Here's all the cash transactions that have happened right in my market, Shelby County, Tennessee, and the buyer's name, what they purchased, or the property they purchased right here, where they are physically located, bedrooms, baths, square footage, everything I need is on one page. All 380 or 304 records are just listed here over and over and over and over again. I can go through each one of them and see everything I want to know. All that research is done for me. What would have taken me weeks or months is now done in a matter of seconds. Now, there's a big difference between going to a RIA club or a meetup or whatever and somebody raising their hands like, yeah, I'm a cash buyer. That guy's probably a jerk off. Just call it like I see it, all right? Been there, done that, done it way too many times. These are people that it is coming directly out of county records. All that data is super sloppy. It looks like, I mean, it's unusable, but we clean it all up and make it easy for you to see. Here he is. Here's Mike Smith. He bought 1234 Main Street. He bought 5 other properties at the exact same time. He paid $120,000. He closed on June 19th. It's all right there for you. Here's Mike's phone number. Here's Mike's mailing address. So you have to find them first. Step number 1, write it down. Find active cash buyers. So, all right, step 2. What's step 2? You target and automate your marketing. All right, so let me show you exactly how to build a cash buyer campaign here. As I said, 1, I showed you how to go and find the properties, but 2, let me just show you how to create an entire campaign here very quickly. Let me pause this video for a second. And you can see there's a variety of cash buyer campaigns in Smart. Here, I'm just gonna go check an active cash buyer campaign. I'm gonna select a direct mail 3-piece touch. So this is just kind of all done for you. I'm gonna hit continue. And now I'm just gonna go right back and go look up the county I wanna send this to. So here I'm gonna select San Diego and hit proceed. Now mind you, you see how fast this is moving. Basically what I'm doing is, again, I'm initiating an entire done for me campaign. Here's 3,138 cash buyers. I can select all of them and hit proceed. And now it is in the process of creating an entire campaign. I hit accept. And now it has created 3,000 letters for me to these cash buyers, a 3-touch campaign. And you can see I tried to move forward. It's not going to let me do that. I'm going to have to actually look at each one of the proofs here. Regardless, even if I don't want to, I'm going to have to do this. And so I'm going to go up here, hit the 2nd touch, 3rd touch. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Might have to go back here. Yeah, like this and like this. There you go. So now I've looked at all 3. The system will let me move forward. I want to append phone numbers to it. I could do it right there. If not, I can just finalize the campaign, hit continue. So in a matter of seconds, this has created a 3-touch campaign to 3,000 people. So a total of 9,000 pieces will be sent for $7,000. And we have done the entire thing in less than 2 minutes. And now my marketing to cash buyers is completely automated. And now we'll move on to the next step where my phones are going to start ringing. Here's the one caveat. Direct mail in this case is obviously what we are promoting, and it actually works. This is not motivated seller marketing. This is cash buyer marketing. And it is all about repetition. Every time you send one of these letters, you're sending it 6 times over the course of a 12-week period. If you are not committed to the process of mailing something 6 times, any direct mail campaign, just stop. Don't do it. Because direct mail is all about repetition. There is a reason you continue to get that Bed Bath & Beyond coupon for 20% off, that big blue postcard for the last 10 years. Only because it freaking works. They know sooner or later your ass is gonna come in and you're gonna bring a whole stack of those damn things and you're gonna buy what they got it, right? There's a reason you still get all that junk mail and you continue to throw it away, but every once in a while, and that's what you're counting on. You're counting on that every once in a while. Direct mail is highly effective. And it continues to work each and every day like clockwork, but it is all about repetition. So a rule of direct mail is if you have to mail them 6 times, the most responses you will actually get will be between the 5th and 6th mailing. So again, step 2, target and automate your marketing to these buyers. All right, I want to talk for a minute about the single biggest thing that I see people messing up when it comes to the cash buyer process, or the reverse wholesaling process specifically. So those of you that aren't familiar with the reverse wholesaling process, it's very straightforward. What we are doing in the real estate transaction is we are starting with the end in mind. We are clearly understanding what our buyers are willing to buy. We're doing market research, and we're engaging those buyers to make them work with us so that we can get good information. Now, again, the single biggest mistake I see people make is that they go out and they build a buyer's list, and they basically believe that in the process of building a buyer's list that they have somehow created the cash buyer process or the reverse wholesaling process, and that is completely false, right? So here's what I mean. Again, step one here is that you market to cash buyers. You send what we call our challenge letter out to the cash buyers, and that list of cash buyers is coming directly out of our smart system. These are people that we clearly know, we can prove it, we can document it, that they paid cash for properties in our areas. And we know exactly what they paid, how much they paid, etc. All the data. We send them a challenge letter. The challenge letter effectively says this, and this is what I want you to write down. It is pre-framing them. And what that means is it is already locking them into a belief system, pre-framing them, where they believe that we are the badasses. We are somebody that they want to do business with. And if you mail 1,000 letters, you're going to get approximately 20 to 30 phone calls out of that. So 20 to 30 people are going to pick up the phone and call you right now and say, I want to do business with you, because this letter is so compelling, and it's like cats to catnip, right? They can't help themselves. And the letter is basically saying, I'm such a rock star in this market that I know you just paid cash for a property. I have access to additional properties, and if you want to do business with me, you got to pick up the phone and call me, and I'll consider doing business with you. It's a little bit of a pushback. It's a little bit of a takeaway. Like, this is not a slam dunk. You're going to have to actually engage with me. I'm worth it. Now, here's what I want you to remember, and I want you to write this down, that you mail 1,000 letters, 30 of them pick up the phone and call you. Those 30 people have taken an extraordinary action that you probably haven't taken. And what I mean by that is that, when was the last time you got a letter in the mail at your home, at your office, and it's not a postcard, it is an actual letter. You've didn't throw it away, right? Because we all do the check mail the exact same way. We look at it and it's not a bill or not something that we clearly know what it is. A lot of times we just toss that. Well, it made it into the pile where I'm going to open it first off. Then not only did I open it, I read it. Not only did I read it and I see that it's from a perfect stranger, but now that it was so compelling, I'm going to pick up the phone and call this perfect stranger and ask for help. When's the last time you did that? And I would venture to say is probably never, if you're like most of us. And so, but that's exactly what these 20 or 30 people did. They took this extraordinary action that you've never taken in your life. So to treat it as anything less than that is just ridiculous. You have to be passionate about this. You paid to send this mail, treat it like it's gold. The average cash buyer buys 2.5 deals a year at a $10,000 spread. That's 25 grand. That one call is worth $25,000 to you per year if you do it right. So here's where all the magic happens. This is where people screw it up, is get on the call and act like you matter. I'm going to give you 2 things right now that are the 2 easiest ways to kind of make this transition. When you get on the call, they already believe you're a badass. Just be the badass. I don't care if you've been in the market for a month or 10 years. Everything changes right here. You have to be that person that they expect you to be. This letter pre-framed them to believe that about you. To do anything else is just, it's not congruent. What will happen is they'll get on the call and they're like, well, something's not right here. The person's getting on the call, and this is what most of you will do. Hey, this is Kent. What are you looking for? And the moment you do that, you're done. Because that's nothing of what a badass would do. What a badass would do would get on there and say, listen, here's the way this works. Yeah, my name's Kent Clothier, and I'm really good at marketing. I'm so good at marketing, I found your ass. And I know exactly how to go and create, write it down, create off-market opportunities for my clients. But I only do that for my VIP cash-paying clients. Now, clearly, I know you just paid cash, and so we have a good opportunity that you can be one of those. Now, in order to do that, I have a 4-step process. Four-step process is really simple. I want to learn more about you. I want to hear exactly the kinds of properties that you're looking to purchase and why you're looking to purchase them and where you're looking to purchase them. Ultimately, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and my company. And 4, we will decide whether or not you and I are a good fit. Sound fair? 4 steps. Another way to do that exact same thing is before you got on it's called before, during, and after. Before you got on this call, you may not have known one thing about me. During the call, I'm going to tell you a lot about me, what we do, how good we are, why we are important to this market, why we're really a gift to our clients. Equally, I'm going to learn a lot about you. And after, we'll decide if we're a good fit. So 2 things, either 4-step process or before, during, and after. Either one of those works. But what you're doing to that client is you are what's called future pacing them. They clearly know what they're in store for on this phone call, which makes somebody that's getting on the phone call with you that's already nervous about calling you, it makes them calm down real quick. It opens them up and allows them to talk to you. And so this is why this is so important. This is why I see people mess this up so many times, is that now they can get on the phone with you, relax, and tell you what you need to be effective. And what do you need? Well, your entire goal, write this down, your entire goal on this call is that when I hang up the phone, could I possibly go put a property under contract knowing that that person would buy it from me? Anything short of that, you've got work to do. So that's the goal. How do you accomplish that? Well, you get on there and say, well, all right, number 1, let's talk about the types of properties you're buying. I can see that you just pay what you just did at 1234 Main Street. Tell me about your perfect investment property. I want to know, and then you just start going down. Let them talk, and I mean, if they want to tell you about their perfect investment property for 3 days, you let them talk for 3 days. It doesn't matter, right? Burn up as many cell phones as you possibly can, baby. It doesn't matter. Let them go, because all of this information is valuable to you. It is, tell me what it looks like. Tell me what part of the county it's in. Why is it important to you? What are you going to do with this property? Is it 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms? Is it student housing? A lot of times my properties, when I'm talking to my VIP clients, some of them want completely done, rehab, ready to go houses. They don't want to do one thing. They just want it rent ready and they want to be able to put somebody in there. Other clients I work with, they want it to be burned to the ground. They specialize in burnouts. They just want the foundation. And we have everything in between. What's your perfect property? And you shut up and listen, and you write everything down. Get everything from them, exactly what they are looking for. But just as importantly, now that I know what you're looking for, how many are you willing to buy? Because Mr. Buyer, as I pointed out to you before, I'm really good at this. Again, I specialize in creating off-market opportunities for my buyers. And so I'm going to go invest my time, effort, energy, and money in creating this opportunity for you. I am the greatest gift to you right now, Mr. Buyer. If you don't want to spend time with me, you don't want to do this interview with me, cool. There's a line out the door and around the corner of people that want to get to me. Because while my buyers are out on vacation, hanging out with their kids, drinking pina coladas, coaching their kids soccer, going to their daughter's cheerleading, I'm out here spending my money at no cost to you to create opportunities that ultimately I bring back to them. Sounds like something you want, right? Okay, so that's why we need to do this. And so that kind of gets them back re-engaged to the process. But I'm so good at doing this, there's a really good chance I might create multiple opportunities for you. So here's what I want to know. You tell me you want to buy a house for $200,000. If I go create 5, how many can you buy right now, paying all cash and close in the next 30 days? Oh, you can buy all 5? Good. Well, now what do I know? What do I know? Kent, the wholesaler, Kent, the owner of the company, I now know this guy's got $1 million to spend. Not only do I know he's got $1 million to spend cash right now in the market, can close in 30 days, but I now know exactly the properties he wants in the exact areas that he wants, at the exact price that he wants. I am the most lethal investor in the market at that point, period, hands down. I am armed with so much information that I have now become an assassin. All I have to do, my only job from that point forward, is to go directly back into my market in a very intentional, channeled way and start creating those opportunities, whether that's through other wholesalers, whether that's through other realtors, whether that's through my own marketing efforts. But I know exactly what to create now. And more importantly, for my new investors, I know exactly what price to create it at. If this person wants to buy for $200,000, it's really simple. If I want to make a $10,000 profit, real simple. I got to go create properties that I can buy for $190,000 or less. Well, Kent, what's the maximum allowable offer and what is the percentage? Screw it. None of it matters. That guy wants to pay 200 grand. My job is to create something for $190,000 or less. That is what makes reverse wholesaling work. If you skip this really important part right here, and you don't take that framing and get all this information and really pull it out and then nurture those relationships and arm yourself with that information and then go march with that information, you screwed up the whole thing. This component, this step makes the entire process work. If you gloss over it or skip over it or con yourself into believing, well, I've got this amazing buyers list. Kid, I have 7,000 cash buyers I send my properties to. Who gives a shit? You are just like everybody else. Nobody else, that's not unique. You have completely deluded yourself. I can tell you in our business, we don't send properties out to buyers. We don't have some email list. There's nothing on a website. We pick up the phone and call the exact person that we know is going to buy it and we sell it. We create that inventory all day long and only do it thousands of times, hundreds of times every single year. I mean, this works and it works really, really well, but you cannot skip the step. Do not skip ahead. This is the business. Stay right here. Get really good at this and you will never have any problems. I guarantee it. Okay, here we are, step 4. Now we get the fun stuff, right? So again, we have found out who the buyers are. We have targeted our marketing to them. They have picked up the phone and called us. And we've gotten all the information we needed from them in order to actually go off and be an assassin in the market. So now we need to get the market working for us. So this is step 4. You need to go find the properties. Okay. And obviously I'm right back inside of Smart now. And in very similar fashion, you can see it's bringing me in here to discuss or to decide which campaign I want to do. So again, I know who all the cash buyers are. I'm going back to Campaign Builder. Now I want to go and market to motivated sellers. So I will select that I want to send right here, if I wanted to go to cash buyers, I do that. Otherwise, I'm going to do motivated sellers, private lenders. I'm just telling the system where I want to start. Here, I'm going to go to motivated sellers and hit continue. Same exact interface, right? We're going to show you exactly. Now I get to pick what kind of motivated seller I want. I'm literally just telling the system, do I want vacant properties, expired MLS, tax defaults, whatever I want to mail, it will go and create the parameters to generate that list for me. So let's just look through here. All right, I'm going to select vacant properties. So now it's going to go and pull the list. Now I'm going to tell it exactly which campaign I want to mail. Do I want to mail a 5-touch campaign? Do I want to mail a 3-touch campaign? Do I want to go kind of over the top and make sure it's a high-touch campaign and including text like over here? Or do I want to just go the economy package? Obviously, if you mail with the texting capabilities, that's the most effective because people have the ability to text back to you for an offer. So now it's going to show me right here exactly what each touch is going to look like, right? And so I can scroll up and down here and look at whether I want exactly what is included. This is starting with the first mail piece will be a postcard, then it's going to move to a letter, and then it's going to move to a handwritten letter, which is very effective, right? These are the 3 touches that will go in my market, and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to think about anything, right? Again, I'm just going to go select an area to do this in. Same exact interface. I just go through the process of selecting a state, and this time I'm going to select Tennessee, and let's just do Shelby County, Tennessee, right? This is right in the Memphis area. And so now it's going to go show me, it's basically the system is coming back and saying, here's all of the possibilities you could mail in Shelby County, Tennessee, in that particular market, which of vacant properties, right? So here's 503 vacant properties in this particular area. If I just want to select a very specific farm area, I can go and select very specific zip codes. All I have to do is click on them, and it will allow me to select those of the 500 records. You can see it just changed. There's 21, there's 22. You can see in the green box up there. Now there's 304, or I can just select all. Here I'm just going to select all, and I'm going to select 500 records for this particular campaign. Again, it's 3-touch. If I want to put in very specific tracking phone numbers for each one of those mail pieces, this is where I would do that, right? Touch 1, touch 2, touch 3, which is actually best practices where I'm tracking an individual phone number for an individual piece. If I wanted to put offer codes in there on each piece to make sure that I knew that each one of my pieces was being tracked, I could do that. Again, no, my profile's been completely set up. I already have my logo in there. If I wanted to put the signature on the letters, I would just load up an image of my signature right there. It's very easy to add it. When I'm comfortable that I've got everything in here the way I want it, including the salutation, then I just hit accept. And now it's in the process of creating this. Now it's actually going to show me, again, are you sure that this is what you want to do? And it's making me go through the proofs like it did last time. Here, I'm just going to jump to the final step for the sake of time and show you. It's created 503 pieces, 3 touches, $1,272. It's going to mail them every 2 weeks. I just, boom, done. It is that simple for me to be completely done with another campaign. So now I've accomplished my buyer marketing and my seller marketing in a matter of seconds. We made it really push button simple. Again, you do it long enough, you figure it out. All the tips and tricks that we've figured out over the years, we've just kind of incorporated in this one thing that makes our investing life so much easier. And then we turn around and give it to the world and say, this will make your life easy too. Whether you've been in it for a few days, a few months, or a few years, this is just going to make it really simple for you. We're just connecting those dots. And so again, getting out in front of them, motivating that market, marketing to those sellers, and getting that influx is what it's all about, baby. Okay, so here we are, step number 5. This is the last one, right? And now at this point, what you are doing when you have a property, an opportunity in front of you, you're using an option contract, a contract that you can find online, you can find inside of our academy, you can find inside of our Facebook groups. It's a very simple contract which clearly demonstrates to the seller what your intentions are. And basically it says, I'm reserving the right to buy this property at a price in exchange for this small deposit. And I reserve the right to potentially flip my interest in this contract to somebody else. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not representing buyers. I'm not representing sellers. I am my own person. But if I want the option that if I don't close on this deal and I find somebody that wants to step in, that I can do that. And that contract makes it really straightforward. There's no miscommunication. Everybody clearly knows what you're trying to do out here. And when the seller signs that contract, you execute on the purchase agreement. You go ahead and put it under contract, take it to Mike, and Mike will step into your contract. Again, I've talked about this a couple times, but I'll tell you, again, the transaction is very straightforward. You've put something under contract. I'm just going to use 150 here. You've put something under contract for $150,000. You've told Mike that your assignment fee is $10,000. The fee for you assigning your interest to Mike is $10,000. There's a one-page assignment contract that when you go to the title company and you turn this in, here is my purchase agreement, here is my option contract, here's my purchase contract, here's my option contract, and here is my assignment. It's 3 things. The title company has all that documentation, very straightforward, easy. I know it sounds complicated, it's just not. Once you do it one time, you'll have it. These 3 documents basically give clear transparency to the entire transaction. Here's where Kent had an option, here's where Kent put it under contract, and here's where Kent assigned his interest to Mike. They pick up the phone, call Mike. Mike, you need to bring $200,000 or $160,000, I'm sorry, to the closing table. Kent put it under contract for $150,000 and he signed his interest to you for $10,000. That simple. Mike shows up, a couple weeks later, $160,000, $150,000 of it goes to the seller for the original contract. $10,000 goes into your bank account for the assignment contract. You just made $10,000 on a deal that you didn't have to close on, you didn't have to bring $150,000 on, yet you clearly knew your buyer would potentially buy from you if you brought it to him, that you knew was a good deal if you wanted to close on as well, all without having any experience. The system and the training kind of took you right through it. It is so straightforward to do this and to be successful at it if you're not a trailblazer. If you just simply follow the processes, step by step by step. No reason to be a trailblazer, no reason to outmaneuver, outthink, nothing. It is done for you all the way through this, right? And again, there's a lot of elegance in the simplicity of this business. Be very careful making it any more complicated than that. Be very careful trying to think about it in any other way. This is right down the middle. It just works all the time. Just works in all markets. Are there What are some of the gotchas there? Well, you're going to have to find a title company that is comfortable with these deals. And if you ever need help with that, our community will easily help you in any market. Title companies or closing attorneys that are comfortable handling these kind of creative deals, they're in every market, they're everywhere. You can easily find them. But you will find some people that are like, I don't know how to do it, I don't know anything about it, I don't know what to do, and I don't think you can do it. Be very careful of those people, because they are dragging their past into their present, into their future, and they're impacting you. That is simply not true. You can do this anywhere you want to do at any time. So with that, I have a very special offer for you. Let's go to there. All right, so now we've covered the 5 steps. Now, your question right now is probably, how do I get involved, Kent? This is cool, I understand it, but now what do I need to do next? Let's go over here and I'll show you. All right, so the bottom line, now that you kind of have seen everything I've talked about, we gotta get to the basics. How do you get involved? How do you do exactly what I just talked about? Well, the very first thing you have to understand is that knowledge is not understanding, right? That the simple fact of the matter is that you have knowledge now. I just educated you on the 5 steps, but you don't have comprehension. You don't understand it. You don't have the insight. You don't have everything you need in order to take advantage of the knowledge that you've now gained. So how do you get understanding? How do you get comprehension? Well, let's talk about it. You have to learn, and you have to really learn. And so what we have put together, and I'm extremely proud of we put this together basically 2 years ago, is called our Certified Wholesaling Specialist Certification Program. What does that mean? Well, we've now trained thousands of successful wholesalers all over North America right now through this very specific program, where we walk you through 21 different lessons over a 14-day period and show you step by step on exactly what you need to be doing to be very, very proficient and good and ultimately profitable at wholesaling. Now, you can't even proceed to the next step without being quizzed on the prior lesson, so that we know and you know that indeed you have comprehended it and you can move forward. Like I said, it's 21 modules. It'll take you about 14 days if you're hustling. It's going to go over how to go find the buyers, how to go find the sellers, how to put the deals together, what are the contracts you need to use, how to deal effectively with acquisition methods, what is the exact method you need to do with reverse wholesaling. And literally everything that you need is inside of this extremely comprehensive program that, quite frankly, is going to put you on the road to not only doing your first deal, but to making your first $100,000. Now, this program right now, we sell it every single day for $1,995. And when we're discounting it, we do have opportunities out there to go buy it for $1,495. But when you just do the math and understand that your very first deal, on average, is $10,000, it seems like a very small investment to make in order to go make your first $10,000 and ultimately set you on a path to where you're making $100,000 or much, much more, not only in a year, but in a month. Now, the second thing you have to do in order to take advantage of all of this knowledge is you have to actually do things. You need to act. You need to be made to actually take action in the moment and go forward and actually start putting deals together. So that is where the next thing we do comes in. This is called SMART, which stands for Strategic Marketing and Real Estate Training. This is our award-winning program that, quite frankly, started in its infancy back in 2009 with our Find Cash Buyers Now program, and then it turned into Find Motivated Sellers Now and Find Private Lenders Now, and then we bundled the whole thing together, made it into a really comprehensive software package that does a few very, very specific things for you. What it does is solves your single biggest pain point. It's very frustrating to be educated on know what to do and know how to do it, but not be able to do it in a proficient and very efficient manner. In other words, going or driving up and down the streets looking for vacant properties is not very efficient. Going and knocking on doors is not very efficient. Putting out bandit signs or going to RIA meetings and looking and hoping that you find a cash buyer is not very efficient. We solve all those problems with one automation tool. The tool that I just showed you on those demos, what it does for you is it will go and help you find all the cash buyers in any market in the United States instantly, in a matter of seconds. All the motivated sellers, whether that's vacant properties, foreclosures, whether that's expired listings, whether that's tax defaults, it's all in there. Easy, push button. You go and select list, it automatically brings you back all the records that fit that criteria in seconds. We invented it, we created it. Yeah, there's a lot of other systems now out there that do it, but there's only one. There's only one that can be the first. There can only be one that is the market leader. There's only one real Rolex out there. You can walk up down the streets of New York City or walk up and down the streets of Chicago or San Francisco, and you can buy a fake Rolex all day long, baby. But there's only one that is the real thing. This is the real thing. This is where it all started. So it will go and find cash buyers, motivated sellers, private lenders. You can comp any property in seconds, tell you exactly what the property is worth on a cash basis, exactly what it's worth on a retail basis, and equally, it has all the marketing done for you. You can take these lists and export them, go do calling using phone numbers that are inside of the program, or you can turn around and do direct mail with push button ease. All those campaigns are just built for you. You hit a button, use the exact same campaigns I'm using in my system. Right now, this sells for $299 a month for 5,000 records. And so if you do that on an annual basis, basically you're paying about $3,600 a month for that. From time to time, yes, we discount this as well, and we sell it for $1,990 a year, right? So every year you save $1,600, you re-up, and you get involved. So the combination of these two packages, $1,495 and $2,000 at our biggest savings, is $3,500 all day long. But because you're here, because you're on this training, because I really, really am excited and passionate about this business, and my goal is very simple. I want to get as many of you involved as humanly possible. So if you're one of the very first 25 to get involved right now, rather than pay $1,990 a year or $1,495, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you to pay one time an investment of $990, saving you thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of hours in time, effort, and energy to get in this business. One payment of $990 gets you in the game right now, and you get all of it. There's no annual fee, or there's no monthly fee. I'm sorry, there is one annual fee. Every 12 months, you will pay one payment of $199 as a maintenance fee for us to keep the data updated for you, right? But there is no monthly fee ever. You make one payment of $990, you're involved today. You'll get logins to the Academy to get you going inside of the Certified Wholesaling Program. You get logins to Smart. Literally, where you are right now, in the next 5 minutes, you could be searching for buyers, sellers, lenders, doing anything you want to do inside of there, following the training. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, you could be doing that. Anywhere in the country, by the way. So it's not restricted to just your market, your state, your county. Anywhere you want to go, we're willing to take you there using these programs. Now, we have thousands of successful students all over the country that have used this time and time again. This is the most used training program and software program out there in the industry today. There's a reason why we are the leaders, and there's a reason why you need to get involved right now. Everything you need is in this package. All you need to do is simply click below this video. You're gonna go to a safe and secure order page. Going over there, you simply put in all your information, put in your credit card. You're gonna get billed one time. And like I said, we'll bill you in 12 months for $199. And like I said, for a $1,000 investment, your average wholesale deal across the country, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of transactions each and every year, is $10,000. That's 10x your investment, very realistically, just in the next few days. It is ridiculous how simple this business can be. You need a leader. You need somebody that's willing to show you. You need somebody that's going to slow down in their very successful business, buying and selling hundreds of deals a year, to slow down and lay it all out for you and show you exactly what to do and ultimately give you the tools to be successful to do it. Now, I'll share one other thing with you very quickly. There's a lot of people that may even look at that $1,000 and they're on the fence a little bit like, wow, man, that's a lot of money. Let me just put it in perspective. The average college tuition right now, over a 4-year college, is between $100,000 and $200,000. $100,000 to $200,000 for people that ultimately, and over 70% of the time, do not actually use their education. And over 70% of the time, walk out of there just strapped with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt. Is this a wise investment? This is an investment to go to learn how to go work for somebody else and get strapped to hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt while doing it, and ultimately never use the education and the knowledge they gained. Yet people do it millions of times every single year. This is an opportunity to get real information, real tools, real success from a real guy, a real community that will show you how to do it each and every day, right in the trenches with you. Some of you have looked around, maybe even this isn't your first rodeo. You may have even looked at franchises. Well, franchises are the exact same opportunity. Why are franchises so attractive to people? Because they're proven systems. There's proven automation. There's a proven path to ultimately create income for themselves. Now, what does a franchise cost? McDonald's, $1 million to $2 million to go get involved with McDonald's. Remax, $37,000 to $250,000 to open up a Remax office. Keller Williams, $180,000 plus. Why do people do this? Again, because of the systems, because of the tools, because of the training that is all inside there that will ultimately, they're looking to make a payoff down the line. 3, 5, 10 years down the line, they will have that income. I'm offering you the exact same opportunity. All the proven systems, all the automation, all the training, all the tools, everything you need from A to Z for $1,000, one payment, and $200 every single year. I hope to work with you. I hope to see you at one of our upcoming live events. And more importantly, I hope to hear about your success. All of this, by the way, comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Take advantage of it right now. Get in there in the next few minutes and see exactly why we are so excited and why so many other people have experienced this success over the years and why you can do the exact same thing. You're going to be blown away when you get in there and you get into the academy and you start going through that training. You're going to be blown away when you get into SMART and you see why it works so effectively. When all those dots are just connected for you, which they weren't for me when I got started in this business, when all those dots are connected for you and you can collapse time and get there just faster, that's when life gets exciting. I'm here for you. Again, to take advantage of it, just click below and I'll see you soon.